There we go. Do it now. Hello, everybody. Welcome, and happy December. We are here. It's Watch Along. I am joined by my good friend Marty from Trash Picture Show. My other good friend, Louis Trenchcoat, and my pal Brian Kubrick, and my other good friend Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave. And yeah, tonight we're watching Untitled Chapter tonight. And this time I'm not being sarcastic. We're watching the 1951 movie Scrooge. Guys, you guys have seen this. Come on, opinions?
I might have seen it.
No, I haven't seen that.
Might have seen it when I was a kid in the early 80s at the Cleveland Art Museum. Because we used to go to Cleveland Art Museum to watch movies. I think they were free back in those days. I think I saw it there. But I don't know. If I did see it, it's a long time ago, so I can't remember it that well.
They usually play this on TV every year. Oh, thank you, TYTD. It's good to hear that the problem's resolved. Yes. Oh, by the way, guys, sorry we're starting somewhat late. We had technical difficulties tonight, but hopefully we've got them all resolved. But yeah, it's funny. We're watching this movie tonight on the 3rd. This movie was released 1951 on December 2nd. That makes yesterday the 70th anniversary of this film.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool to be watching it on its anniversary. And of course, this was directed by Brian Desmond Hurst, who did The Fugitive, the 1939 Fugitive, not the other one. He also did Bucket of Blood, the 1934 Bucket of Blood, not the one with Dick Miller. Confusion there. But actually, Bucket of Blood, this version of Bucket of Blood that he did was based on The Telltale Heart. So,
very cool.
It's kind of cool. So that's this guy's sort of creds, and of course, this is the version that stars Alastair Sim. Some of you might have seen him in Stage Fright. He played Commodore Gale in Stage Fright. He was also in a movie called An Inspector Calls, where he played Inspector Poole. Along him, you've got who was in another movie that we might take a crack at sooner or later. He was in Day of the Trickett.
Ooh,
And he's also in another movie called Dead of Night. So it's kind of cool.
Just putting my battery in. I gotta get my charger. I'll be right back. I have.
Oh, sure.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ethel.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Do what you got to do, man. We wait for you. You have to.
All right. All right. Keep going.
Yeah. No. Totally. Also in this movie, we've got Michael Hordern, who you guys might recognize his voice. He was in Watership Down.
Oh, that movie scarred me.
Yeah, he was Frith in Watership Down. He was also in Cleopatra as Cicero.
Ah.
So we got him in here. And we got Kathleen Harris in here as well. She was in Oliver Twist, which is another Charles Dickens film adaptation. And she was also in another movie called The Ghoul.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody's seen The Ghoul.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it or not.
Yeah, it's an older one. I think that's 1950 something or 1940 something.
Possibly.
In addition to that, she's also in. Oh wait, no, that's the next person. Next person. Now we got Hermione Baddeley. I don't know. It's Mrs. British Namington. You'll recognize her from Mary Poppins. She was the maid in Mary Poppins.
Okay.
She was also in The Secret of Nim.
Okay, I did not know that.
Tom Duke movie.
Oh, I have that movie. Yeah. I haven't seen it before though.
Yeah, she was Auntie Shrew.
Okay.
And if you're a fan of the 1960s Batman TV show, she was Frontier Fanny in 3 episodes.
Nah.
Cool. Very cool.
So
Tiny.
it's kind of sometimes with these movies you get unexpected connections. Oh, I just want to say, hey, John Steele, and hey, DMC, welcome, guys.
Hey
Hey
guys.
guys.
Always glad to see you in the mix. Also in this film, we got Rona Anderson, who was in a movie called Devils of Darkness, and in another one, she was in a movie called The Case of the Red Monkey, which I think that's a detective film. I haven't seen that one, but yeah. And you got Roddy Hughes in this as well, who plays Fizzywig in the film. He was in another movie called Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. There's a long title for you. He was the White Rabbit.
What year was that one?
That one was, I think it was 1960. I could be wrong. I didn't put the date down. But
Yeah, because they have so many of them, right? Different Alice in Wonderlands.
yeah, it's a very popular book or series of books that got constantly remade, adapted.
Yeah.
Movie, which is cool. Cool. Fun fact: the street scenes were filmed on 8 Scandrett streets in London. So they actually did some like quasi on location filming. I mean, they're in London anyway, so you might as well go outside, point the camera around. Back when this was written, the name Scrooge, nowadays it's synonymous with like a cheap, stingy person or somebody who doesn't like the holidays. Back in the day, it actually meant to squeeze.
Ooh.
When you
Okay.
screw something, you squeeze it.
Ah. Could still kind of work because, tight-fisted and all that, holding your money. It kind of still works.
Yeah, but I think that's what Dickens was going for. Okay, DMC, you can't go wrong with the black and white. I offered the color version just to give people some choices, some options.
Good man, DMC. Good man.
And what I was telling these guys out back in the back room, eventually when this does, Jesus, I don't know when it's going to get made. Maybe. Oh shit, we lost Trench. Down.
I'll be right back if I got to get my charger. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, no problem. But as I was telling these guys in the back, eventually when this does get made into Trash Picture Theater, I'm going to offer 2 versions. I'll offer the standard black and white version, and I'll offer a special color version so that people have the option there too. Because options are good. Scrooge was the original title of this film. It's often titled A Christmas Carol or referred to in adverts, posters, and so forth as A Christmas Carol. When they released it in the U.S., they changed it to A Christmas Carol because they thought that better connected it to the story. Even though, like, Scrooge, how are you going to get that wrong? Like, I feel like that's close enough. You guys prefer either title?
What?
Do you guys prefer either title? Like you like Scrooge better or A Christmas Carol for the title?
I think Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol, because it's more in line with the Dickens story. But that's just me.
I agree with Marty. I like the Christmas Carol too. Whenever I hear Scrooge, I always think of the Bill Murray one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because that's Scrooge. Scrooge.
I'm gonna say the opposite. Because it's named Christmas Carol so much, it gives it another. It makes it distinct from the other ones by calling it Scrooge. So I go for Scrooge.
Yeah, I often prefer that title. That's why, like, you'll look for this video online. It won't say A Christmas Carol. It says Scrooge. Scrooge Watch-Along. It's funny. I was talking about the colorized version. In this colorized version that some people will be watching, some people won't be watching, there's actually an intro and an outro by Patrick Macnee, who was the guy who plays young Jacob Marley in this film. And of course, in the intro, he's an old man because it's many years later. And it's kind of neat, little folksy intro from a star one of the cast members, not really a star, but
That is so
when-
neat, though.
yeah.
Oh, wasn't he in
What-
the Avengers? The
Was he?
Big Knee? And he was in View to Kill, if I'm thinking of this right guy.
He could be. I did not get his resume when I was putting my notes together, because I just figured it was neat enough that he was in the intro. But they actually had some bumpers when they showed this on TV. In addition to the intro and the outro, there were commercial bumpers where he'd pop on the screen. He's sitting by the fire and he'd say some things like, "Oh, we'll be right back with Scrooge. Let's see if Tiny Tim will walk." Stuff like that.
I'm wondering for the Bill Murray Scrooge kind of movie. They were supposed to be televising A Christmas Carol, and they had an old character narrating what the fire. I wonder was that an influence on that kind of in-joke?
I think it's a definite reference to the television version, because it's everybody that has different feelings about colorizing films, and that's sort of like a different. It's not is what it is, and I feel like that's what Scrooge is partially about in a way. Is it's about the modernization of our traditional values, and how you put work first and stuff, which is in this film too. But I don't know. What do you think, Marty?
Again, it's maybe it was something done in a desperate effort to kind of keep the attention spans of younger generations, or maybe it was just cynical execs going, "Oh, no one will watch anything in black and white." It can be done right. Question is, does it need to be done? Again, I have a bunch of Harryhausen movies that have been colored, and yeah, they're done a good job, but they still look good black and white as well. It's not. I don't think it's heresy to color something, but
No,
it doesn't
I
need to
disagree.
be done either.
If it's black and white, it's just say black and white.
Well, if you want to color it, the option. I was saying this to the other night. There should be an option to, if you buy it on DVD, there should be a colored version and a black and white version. You shouldn't totally erase the original version of it. But that's my 2 cents.
I feel like.
I'm sorry,
Brian. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Marty, I know the criterion of Parasite, it's a color movie, but he also offers a black and white version. But maybe in that particular case, is the director offering another format to you.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, though, I don't think Parasite or Mad Max Fury Road, the Chrome edition, I don't think there'll ever be a chance that the colored versions will disappear from the shelves. My thing is the worry that colorized versions might replace the original
black
classics. Just like with the Star Wars movies, that you have to look for the despecialized editions. Or as Ethel was talking about Star Trek as well. It's very hard to find the original series without the digitalized and kind of computer generated ships and kind of coda sequences on the planets and stuff. It's just, you have the option there to watch it in its original form.
Yeah,
I agree.
You need the option. I just want to mention in the chat, we got John Steele saying his favorite version is the Mr. Magoo A Christmas Carol, which that's a good one. Mr. Magoo. And DMC thinks every film should be colorized but retain the black and white version. Some companies do that. Some companies get that right. Legend Films, they did a release of Carnival of Souls, and they included the colorized version and the black and white version, which was nice. Yeah, because it's you can put it in, you can switch. It's tonight, do I feel like watching it as it was, or do I feel like watching it and feel like it's sort of a little bit different? It's I like having the choice.
Yeah, gives you different flavors.
Yeah,
but
it's
the right choice is always black and white. If it was made in black and white, the right choice was always black and white.
Yeah, I gravitate towards watching it in its black and white version. It looks more creepy and like I don't know. It lends things to the film.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're going back into the past in a way.
Some things look better, lend themselves better to black and white, or the cinematography would be totally lost on people if it was shown in color.
Mm.
But there is a good thing about the colorized option too, because like there are some kids who won't watch it in black and white, and maybe they'll really fall in love with the movie, and then maybe they'll give black and white a chance after they see it in colorized if they really like the movie. So I guess there is something to be said about colorization.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a purist or whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. It's funny, I mentioned earlier, Oliver Twist, and this movie, A Christmas Carol, and Oliver Twist, these two stories, these Dickens stories, are actually the two most filmed Dickens stories ever. Like, there's more versions of both of these than any other Charles Dickens work. That's kind of neat.
Very cool.
Mervyn Johns, who plays Bob Cratchit in this film, he is the father of Glynis Johns, who plays Mrs. Banks in Mary Poppins. Hermione Baddeley, who plays the maid in Mary Poppins. So you've got a Mary Poppins connection on two fronts here, so it's kind of neat.
Very cool.
Nice.
Always good to have that. Glenn Dearman, who plays Tiny Tim in this film, widely thought to be too tall for the role. Like when they were making this, they were really hemming and hawing. Like, oh, geez, he's really kind of too tall for this. And fuck me if I could notice. I didn't notice at all. I thought he looked fine.
Yeah,
looks like a little kid to me. The exterior shot of Scrooge and Marley's office on Cathedral St. Southwark, which I guess if you're in England, you know exactly where that is. It was used in another movie called A Study in Terror, for the scene where the murder of Annie Chapman takes place. This was a 1965 film, so they went back and used footage from this.
very cool.
Very cool. If you ever watch that movie, you'll be able to see the Scrooge and Marley song. Yeah, but that's kind of cool. And like I said earlier, this is the 70th anniversary of this film. So 70 years of people following this out every Christmas movie and so forth. It's very, very, very good. Very good. Very good. Still waiting on French to come back. I don't know if he's going to make it.
He was saying he was having issues there, and if all comes to all, to start without him. I'm gonna try and see if I can contact him, and I will see what the story is.
Oh, sure. Oh, we got. Oh. Has anybody read books by Dickens? I've read The Great Expectations and children's versions of the same of his book. I don't know, Brian. I don't know. I haven't really read much Dickens personally, but
I need to read.
The greatest, huh?
I haven't read. I've read a few of his what they used to call the chapter books. They had a couple of chap books, and I've read a couple of those for school. But other than that, I haven't read any actual books. I've always meant to read though A Christmas Carol. One of these years, I plan on reading it just because out of curiosity, because I've seen so many versions of the film. But I haven't read it.
Oh,
it does differ from this movie a little bit. Brian, have you read this? Have you read the book?
I think like Mickey Mouse when I was a child, like
the Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Something, yeah.
That's a good. That one's actually I've heard is fairly faithful to the book for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Oh, Dickens is he's not. I guess the stories are interesting and the points he's trying to make, but I don't know if I like his writing style. I haven't read a lot of novels recently, but I think Dostoevsky's better than him, and Tolstoy's better, but I guess he makes better. I mean, not better. He makes good points or interesting observation. I don't know. I just don't like his writing style.
Good
'Cause he's
ideas, just
overly
not the greatest
descriptive.
execution. Good ideas, but good
Oh,
ideas,
yeah.
but not greatest execution.
Get Trench in here. Get on in here, buddy.
He was saying that to start, and I said, kind of hold off till he sees if he can come in.
There we go. Oh, we got John Steele. He's saying that he used to own the Mickey version of this on CEB, which there's an outmoded format. I think that
What's
format's
that?
been around for about a week. Oh, Marty? Did you guys have CED discs over there?
We had laser discs.
Yeah, this was sort of like Laserdisc, except basically you'd get this thing and it sort of looked like a record and it was plastic. And you'd have like the movie artwork on the front of it. And you have a special machine for it. You take it and you'd stick it in the machine and then it would click and you'd pull it back out. And what it did was it took the disc from inside this plastic shell into the machine and kind of gave you the shell back, sort of like a Ghostbusters trap.
Mhm.
Okay. Weird.
So
Didn't
was it the
last very
same
long.
thing?
Yeah, it didn't last long at all.
So is it basically the same thing as a Laserdisc, only it has a case on it? not?
It's similar to a laser disc, but it's the format is different in how it's made. It's hard to explain. Jen, would you know a little bit about it?
I know a little bit about it, but pretty much everything you do, it's different. There are differences, but it's similar to what that is. But there are some differences, but it's basically it didn't last. I think it lasted a little shorter time than the other one did, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was even shorter to lifespan. For some reason, it never caught on. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. John Steele says it's compactance electric disc.
Yes. Christian would know better than anybody. He, I think, might have one or two.
Oh, so it's basically like a UMD. I don't know if you guys had UMDs over there.
No, what's
And,
that?
you know, not IED. That's an improvised explosive device. A UMD was for either your iPhone or your old kind of N-Gage phone or your PSP. The first PSP that came out. It was basically a CD in a plastic case that you shoved into the back of a thing. It was kind of like that.
Ah.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, John's right. He's saying the reading mechanism was a stylus. Yeah, it did. It had like a little special, like I don't know if it was a needle or a laser. It was some sort of fucking thing, and it would read the disc that way.
Capacious electronic disc. That's what it stands for.
Yep.
Yes.
That's spell it. Oh, yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce. Oh, John says he can show you when he gets a chance. That's cool. I occasionally I see him like at flea markets and stuff, but I never see the players. So it's like I would feel guilty. I almost bought one once, and I'm like, I can't buy this. I have no way to watch it. Someone who owns a player is going to come along and not be able to buy it. It's not fair for me to buy it and not be able to watch it when someone else could. So I never did that.
Ethel, you could buy a player off of like eBay, couldn't you?
I don't know. Personally, I don't use eBay because I'm afraid of getting ripped off.
Well, I've got good experiences with eBay almost all the time. Yeah.
But I don't know. They're so rare nowadays. It's like I don't even know if it'd be worth the effort to track down a working player and then start trying to collect the discs. It's one of those things. Like if I was collecting it and using it back in the day, if it lasted more than a week, I would be using it still. But I don't know.
Laserdiscs sound interesting. It's just that they're very space. They take up a lot of space. I would say, right? And the player's big, and it basically. I don't know if you have the space or the money, you can get into it. I'm just saying, it's more practical to own Blu-rays and DVDs.
Well, John's saying that players are really hard to find. You'd be lucky if you do. So, like, yeah, that's what I assumed. Like, but I still got all my VHSs, so one outmoded format is enough, I think.
Oh, yeah, VHS is. I have a VHS player, but I haven't used it since 2014. But yeah, VHS is good, Ethel. You know.
Yeah, I got a few of them. I think I got like 2 or 3 VHS players, VCRs. Like, you'd think it'd be overkill, but no, I need that.
Oh yeah, because if one dies, you've got a couple of backups. I get it.
One of them actually has my copy of Spawn, the director's cut, stuck in it.
Ah.
I have my flat screen television has jacks that accept VCR wires. I just have never used it.
Component cables.
Yeah. It just sits up in the attic and basically never gets used.
Okay. But yeah, if everybody is ready, I suppose we should just move on to film. Trent, you got your setup going, dude?
Yeah. Tell me if the TV is too loud. I gotta sit closer to it than I usually do.
Okay, I'll let you know. Brian, how's your setup going? You queued up?
Yeah, I think I'm queued up.
Oh, perfect. Jen, Mark, you guys good to go?
I'm good to go.
Ready to rock.
And just before I go, I want to tell everybody, if you've chosen the color version, you want to queue your version up to 1 minute and 15 seconds. That's your starting point if you're watching the color version, because there's that intro at the beginning. If you're watching the black and white version, you're good to go. But let's just stop. So make sure you got your thing queued up at home, folks. And we will go with the video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. So ominous.
Renowned Pictures.
I don't like working with the books. It seems like they're going to read it to you.
Yeah.
Someone just storms out of the cinema. I came here to watch a movie, not read a book.
Trent, you're a bit loud, I think.
Who's?
It's either Trent or Brian, either or. One of you is a bit loud.
My bad. I turned it down to 10%.
Okay.
Is it too loud?
Yeah, you got to dial it down a little bit, Brian.
Okay. How's that? Or too loud? Good?
No, that's good. Good. It's okay if you can hear it a little bit through the thing. I just didn't want to be able to hear Marty and Jen and Trent and you and stuff.
Because I won't be able to hear the film if I turn too low, but I understand. I don't know. I got to hear you guys, but I also have to hear the film too.
Yeah, you just find the balance.
This must be distinctly understood, though nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate. The register of his burial was signed by Scrooge, and Scrooge's name was put on the London Exchange for anything he chose to put his hand to. Ah, Mr. Scrooge. Your servant, sir. Are you off home to keep Christmas? I am not in the habit of keeping Christmas, sir. But why are you leaving so early? Because, sir, Christmas is a habit of keeping doing business. It's the nature of things, and ants, toil, and grasshoppers sing of names.
He loved working so much you can just tell by the joy in his face.
How English!
It's probably the most British people ever to be put in film.
Ethel, this film must be more expensive than the ones you usually show. Like this is a bigger budgeted movie, right?
Oh yeah. This is a much bigger budget movie.
Yeah.
Just like I said, an actual good movie for a change.
You can have good movies on low budgets too.
Oh yeah, I just meant that most of the stuff I show was pretty cheesy. French, it's not a midget, but it's a little kid. Is that close enough?
No, it's not the same.
Trench, did you go sit in Christmas carols with some redneck on your stream the other day?
Oh yeah, this redneck came in. His name was Cricket, and he was coming in and he was singing Christmas carols. It was great, and a guy came in and took a shit. It was awesome.
God damn.
All sorts of programming on his channel.
Wait, what about the Disney Channel?
On Frenchie's channel. Which channel? Fundamental programming.
Oh yeah, I thought you said the Disney Channel. My bad.
No, but I'm pretty sure they've got some experimental programming on there too. You know, Donald Duck probably takes a shit once in a while.
That's why he doesn't wear pants. He's ready to roll.
They are. I wish I could say they were not.
Oh God, the utter state of Donald Duck.
What year is this? Do you know the year this is?
1951.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean the time period, the year. This time period.
I'd say 1890s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Late 1880s, early 1890s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's set in the world of Dickens days. The
Right.
Dickens days. Boy,
Yeah.
that sounds inappropriate.
I just don't know exactly when in Dickens, in the character world of the book and
Usually
his time.
the height of the Industrial Revolution, Brian.
Yeah.
So the Industrial Revolution would be in England from mid 1800s to late 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah, John's saying 1800s.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
DMC, the oldest child. Go fuck yourself. Trent, I know he's not wearing it in this scene, but how would you rate Scrooge's hat?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Is it better than my hat, Trench, though?
No, your hat looks like barbarian type hat.
It's very dapper, darling.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Why did you marry against my wishes? Because I fell in love. Fell in love. The woman is penniless as a soul. We never had any quarrel that I've ever been party to.
He's making me think of Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
Kevin O'Leary likes Christmas.
Huh?
Kevin
What?
O'Leary likes Christmas. They make a lot of money
I-
on Christmas.
Yeah, I know. It's just the greed.
Oh, is that the bald angry man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, before he did Shark Tank, he was on a Canadian show called Dragon's Den.
That was similar to Shark Tank, wasn't it?
Yep, it's what they ripped off to make Shark Tank. He was on that one. There was a British version of Dragon's Den as well with totally different people. Marty might have seen it over in
Yeah,
Ireland.
there's a British one, and we also have an Irish one as well. They
Oh, yeah.
franchised it out to about 20 countries.
I forgot about the Irish one. I've seen that one too. I prefer
One of the guys in the Irish one ran for president, but it turned out the night before the election, a competitor of his revealed he bribed a bunch of people that cost him the election.
Sort of makes me think of Blade Runner with what's his name? J.S. Sebastian's toys.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if they set this movie in the time period of Blade Runner?
That would be
Yes.
cool.
Oh.
An interesting fucking Christmas Carol in the Blade Runner universe.
Yeah, Tiny Tim's gotta be a replicant.
All the ghosts have to be replicants.
They gotta
everyone
get-
gets killed.
They got to give him the Voight Cox test.
Mama.
Okay, Ethel, I might go with the producers on this. He is a bit tall for a Tiny Tim.
I was thinking that too.
It's weird. Like I never noticed it until I found that out that they were kind of skeptical of whether they want to keep using him in the film.
I love
Oh,
DMC's comment. Time to shoplift.
that lamp. What kind of light did they have gas at that time? Well, I mean, Citizen Kane, they had
oil.
gas. Oil.
lamp.
Okay.
The oil lamp. Well, wait. Didn't they have gas lamps by that point though?
They did, but they'd be mounted to something. The gas lamps would be mounted to, say, a wall or a fixed kind of post or something.
I noticed like gas light in Citizen Kane.
I'm very sorry to cause you such inconvenience. It's the family more than least, isn't it? Their hearts into Christmas as it were. Yes, and put their hands in my pocket as it were, sir. Yes, like a bit of the whole day.
Scrooge is such a dick. He's the boss, and he's basically telling Cratchit that he doesn't do jack shit.
Merry Christmas.
Sorry, it's out of my hands. You own the fucking company, you prick. Out of my hands.
Talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
If they remade this nowadays, I think Scrooge would just tell people to fuck off instead of humbug. Mr. Scrooge, fuck off for you then.
Blind.
I like how someone made him a sign so people would be aware.
Yes. Okay. Take the extra, sir. No more bacon. Yes.
Is it just me, or are British streets the dreariest streets ever to make it to film? Maybe it's just this movie.
It's British society in general.
It's just, it always looks so depressing.
As I said, refer to my prior comment.
No offense to any of our lovely British watchers.
Well, I like that effect.
See, back in the day, they didn't have the Ring doorbell. They had the ghost door knocker.
Hey, are you trying to pitch that package? Ah! Ooh, put the parcel down. Ooh.
The fucking mailman just comes up. Mailman comes up to the door to deliver. Ebenezer! What the fuck?
I like Mr. Scrooge's eyes.
Yeah, he actually reminds me of who's the fucking crazy-eyed Klingon in fucking, is it Martok? Ethel, who's the fucking crazy-eyed Klingon? Martok.
Yeah, it's Martok. It'll be
Is it
glorious.
Gowron? No, is it Gowron? Is it Gowron or Martok? Martok.
Martok.
Martok has the crazy eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gowron's done it before. Martok is the one who's just like tried to push him out of his skull.
That kind of reminds me of Steve Buscemi. Their eyes look like they're gonna pop out of their head.
Yeah, they got the bulging eye. Almost like that guy maker.
Cinematography is very well done.
Yeah.
They did a good job setting up the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Always try to figure out what Scrooge is eating. It looks like he's eating clam chowder, but maybe that's just the New Englander in me.
Oh yeah.
Scrooge, put that chowder down.
Game rate.
It's chowder.
Oh,
It's chowder. Chowder.
Chowder.
that chowder has 500 calories in it. Put the chowder down.
Scrooge, would you like some oyster crackers? You gotta fix that bell. I hate when those things go off.
I wonder if Scrooge was an influence on is it the guy named Mr. Potter in It's a Wonderful Life? That maybe that was an inspiration. I don't know. Just
It could be. Could be. Scrooge is going to get scared and spill that chowder all over his lap. He's going to sue Campbell's for millions. They'll have to put a warning on the can. I don't know if that would be my reaction when I see a ghost. Who are you? No, it's like, what the fuck?
But do you think this could be considered a Christmas horror movie, or is it just a Christmas movie?
I always consider it to be well, not really a horror movie, maybe a thriller.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you got ghosts.
Supernatural.
Yeah. You know, just one of the reasons why I chose it for this. Because it's science fiction. Supernatural, anyway. Same thing.
Fantasy, right?
Well,
Sort of. I don't know.
like, I don't know. Yeah, Scrooge is like a wizard. He,
Sit down.
I wonder why he's changed.
For 1951.
I think, Brian, that the chains are to represent his sins.
Oh, okay.
he'll
I think-
explain it.
Sense of soul that he's destroyed or crushed.
Like he explains it to Scrooge.
Oh, okay.
Trying to get the ghost the fucking eye test. Okay, read the chart. Read the chart.
That's my favorite part of the film right there, where he just comes up and Marley screams.
All of my own creation.
Jesus.
Marley's such a drama queen.
Why do you come to me?
Maybe Marley was a feeder kid growing up.
Yeah, see, there you go, Brian. He's explained the chains.
Oh,
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum is photobombing.
Jesus Christ, he is a prima donna.
Yeah.
It's like, I've come to warn you. Shit is going down tonight. No, wait, he's being visited by three spirits. Isn't it technically four? Because Marley's a ghost too.
Yeah. It would be more 4.
You're always a good friend of mine. You will be visited by 3 spirits.
You're just like, I'll be asleep at that time.
Could we reschedule?
I'll be like, oh, I can do it one. I'm watching the book. I come back later.
Expect the birds with the bell tolling 1.
Why are they all doing the Sabbath stuff?
Uh-huh.
The
What's
DMC
that?
said the first ghost fucks up, gives Scrooge a heart attack. Yeah, see, they're all
is that hell? I can't.
I don't know. It's ghosts, and they're
Oh,
lamenting. The ghosts that lament.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Oh,
purgatory. I don't know.
yeah. Sorry, Ethel. My hearing is bad, so I'm trying to hear the
No,
movie
you good.
and listen to you. Yeah.
You're good, Brian.
You're good.
It's hard to figure out. I've seen this movie a bunch of times, and like that scene always comes off sort of confusing.
I think it might be all the people he fucked over.
Yeah.
They're pointing
Oh,
at other
that could
people.
be it.
You're like,
That could definitely be it. And they're getting down. Jamming to that, what is it, Brian Eno or whatever?
Ethel, wouldn't it be funny if the first ghost came and like you just saw one of Scrooge's hands underneath the covers and the duvet just going up and down? The ghost is like, oh, God damn it.
It's like, Ebenezer, stop beating your meat. Leave
What if
your tiny Tim alone.
What if the ghosts were women instead of men? Like, if
Why
they
do you
did a
like
new
in
version?
Ghostbusters? You think one of them
Oh.
would like fucking like give him a notion?
Look, it's
That
it's
would
the
be
ghost of a feminine past.
Gandalf the White? Holy shit! No, it's Raiden! It's fucking Raiden!
Oh, but he's not doing the Christopher Lambert voice.
Aw.
That
Oh
was
my
on
God! They should remake. They should remake this. Have Christopher Lambert be the ghost of Christmas Past.
Yeah, and then he could get confused and think he's on the wrong movie and go like, Mr.
I'm
Scrooge,
really
we gotta go fight Shao Kahn.
Your soul will be damned for eternity, Scrooge. Sorry.
Like, touch my hand, Scrooge. Don't worry, it's not gay.
Much.
Like, oh, by the way, yeah, it's totally gay.
I like how Scrooge looks uncomfortable all the time.
You know this place. I was a boy here. They all exchanged.
How did you go visit yourself as a child?
There's my old school.
Well,
I
not
tell
really
my
a
son
child.
ourselves not to throw out some of these
Not
toys.
quite deserted.
Break these toys.
Oh, great. There's an ad.
Oh, you go, Brian.
You good? You catch up.
Now it's back. So I must be off like by 4 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, I'm at times
It's okay.
24:15.
If I see, I think I stopped the stream of the YouTube video.
You'll be fine, Brian. Just let it
I'm
ride.
fine. Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Ride. That's usually what we do in these circumstances. We just let it ride.
yeah.
It's okay if you're not totally in sync. You'll still get the jokes, references, commentaries.
Oh, dear Father, I have come to bring you home. Home, home, home. Yes, home, home, home to everything.
Always wanted one of those big old-timey globes. Kind of cool.
You perhaps would look for me. Doesn't know me or even what I look like. Same as I hardly know you now.
Is that his sister in this version as well? Yeah.
Yes.
Your mom must have looked as you look now just before she died.
Perhaps that is why she
He was in the later Hollywood versions. They added a romantic one, but in the original Dickens one, it was his sister.
just once
And
Yep.
they brought that
Oh.
back. There's a reason.
That window behind them has no glass in it. It must be really cold in there.
Oh shit! I just noticed that as well.
Put that thing on the end of her hand. Keep her hands warm, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
muff. Hand
It's a
muff,
what?
wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a muff.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it in at least one other movie, Magnificent Ambersons.
Hey Jen, have you got a muff?
Yeah, but I don't generally put my hands in it.
Oh. Oh.
Like if you went like rooting through a pile of clothes to find your muff, would that be considered muff diving?
I suppose.
Jen, if my hands were really cold, could I use your muff?
Oh, yes, you could, Marty.
Now I forget what his name is, but the guy in charge of music on this film, he used a lot of English folk songs to establish different moods.
It adds to it.
I wonder how they did the special effect of the hourglass.
It's a good effect for the time.
Yeah. So Scrooge basically wasted his life, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe they had it on a pole and they had a matte painting behind it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Then you could spin it and you'd just see the matte painting behind it, but you wouldn't see the pole. It also could be a shot from above, like it's on a table.
Is that so much that he deserves your praise? It's not that. Happiness he gave to us, his class, his apprentices, and everybody who knew him. It was great as a good customer. What's the matter? Nothing. Something, I think. Just that I'd like to have a word with my own clerk.
It's a nice look for someone who's smart.
I wonder with a ghost how they shoot that. Like he's transparent. I think the word is.
Probably the same way. Sorry, Ethel.
No, go ahead, Marty. You probably were about to say what I was going to say.
Same kind of gig as the Invisible Man?
No. The Invisible Man was luma keying. This is a technique where they have a pane of glass in front of Scrooge, and they have a light shined on the actor on the other side of the glass that's off camera. That way the glass reflects the light coming off the actor, and it appears as if they're in the same shot, but it's really just a pane of glass in front of Scrooge.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I sort of remember reading that stuff when I was younger, special effects stuff.
Yeah, it's a very old camera trick. It's a good trick. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good. It's very unique because, like, I hadn't seen this before, and usually the ghosts in the newer movies are all over the top. So it's good to see something like that's just like, it's a ghost, but it's like simple.
Yeah. Like, I guess if someone were to do it nowadays, they'd either use CGI or they'd use a green screen effect, and they turn down the transparency.
You can still do pretty good effects for hardly any money, or you don't have to have the most sophisticated, up-to-date stuff sometimes.
Even in the Jim Carrey one, they turned this ghost into like a lantern, and it was just very odd.
That's weird.
As long as the audience doesn't know they're being fooled, it doesn't matter how cheap or expensive the effect is.
Well, I mean, as long as you can suspend disbelief. That's the most important thing, is the suspension of disbelief. Oh, John says the lag is serious. My lag? Am I lagging, guys?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Is this guy with the guy on screen right now with the bow, is that Scrooge?
No, the guy sitting down.
Is
That's
Scrooge.
The younger Scrooge.
Wow.
Twice the salary old Fezzy we can afford to pay you. And advancement he can't afford to offer you. The clerk in the new company. What do you say to that, eh? Still say money wasn't everything, sir. Well, if it ain't, I don't know what is. Come and see me someday anyway, young fella. You're smart and you're no fool.
It's a weird question. Like, this is your brother. Do you know me? It's like she's sick. Doesn't have amnesia.
No, not here. Yes, here. It's me, your brother. Do you know me?
It's sent for you. It's me.
Promise you what? I promise you anything, yes. Promise that isn't going to be any need. You're going to get well again, man. You are. God, you must. You can't die. Fab, you mustn't die. You're going to get well again, Fab. Fab, you're going to get well again.
DMC saying, get out of the bed, for God's sakes. We've only rented this for the hour.
Brought me here. Mercy of it.
Take it easy.
Hourglass. The more I see it, the more I think it's a shot from above. Like you got the camera on the floor, and you've got the hourglass above the camera because you've got the falling snow.
What was it? I thought I was typing in a comment.
The hourglass shot. I think it's
Yeah.
a shot from above. You've got the camera on the floor looking up, and then you've got that painting and the snow effect and the hourglass.
Could very well be.
I'm still convinced it's on a pole and someone's just spinning it off screen. It doesn't appear to be a composite.
But because the hourglass dissolves, and the stuff around it stays solid. I don't know.
Scrooge, the new clerk, Mr. Jacob Marley.
Scrooge, you shouldn't sit in your chair. You can fall backwards and look stupid.
I'm sure you two gentlemen will get along famously. I'm sure you shall, Mr. Jorgensen. Well, I'll leave you to it. There's no doubt things new and strange to you. Somewhat. The world is on the verge of new and great changes, Mr. Scrooge. Some of them, with necessity, will be.
Oh shit!
Agreed.
What's up, Trench?
How is he doing that with his chair and not falling?
He's got one leg on the inside of the workstation or the bureau. Is that what they're called? The bureau?
Desk.
Look,
Yeah.
Oh,
cause we used to try shit like that as kids and we would fall.
What are they doing in the background? They're putting sandbags? What, they expect invading armies?
Maybe. Or a
Let's get
flood,
this-
maybe.
Correct.
It's England in the 1800s. The place was probably pissing raining.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Scrooge. Yes. Pardon the liberty, but do you know if I'm kept on here, sir? What's your present salary? 5 shillings a week, sir. You can stay for 4 shillings a week. Yes. Thank you, sir. Hello, presently.
You've become a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
The same Alice who swore to love to all eternity. She is not changed by the harshness. She is not. You are. Then you no longer love me.
You no longer love me.
Well, I never said that.
Words never.
Glad style changed. I couldn't imagine wearing something with the fucking arms like
By
that.
changing towards the world.
It's such a terrible thing for a man to struggle with something better
Like
than you.
swimmer pants but for your arms.
The place near your heart. Golden.
In singular, the world can be so brutally cruel to the poor, professing to condemn the pursuit of wealth in the same breath.
You fear the world too much,
No, with reason. But I have not changed towards you.
aren't you? I promise you no lie. Later we were both born. Content to be so.
Oh, breaking up.
Tell me.
She should be.
Try to remain
If I wrote the script, maybe I would make her pregnant and have her and her baby die. I don't know.
Jesus Christ!
That's a Christmas
Christ
movie.
almighty.
I don't know. Just
There's a term
already
in
like
comic
his
books
sister.
called fridging. You've just fridged a character.
I'm just
No.
I'm just thinking if I was going to rewrite I'm not saying, I'm just brainstorming.
He didn't fridge her. He fridged her baby. There's a difference. It'll be different because like people expect the woman to get fridged, but it's actually the baby.
This
but
takes
technically,
I know what year this takes place in. This takes place in 1845 or 1855 because that book's at 1835 and this was the past.
okay.
Makes sense.
Oh, and when it goes to Christmas future, could be a giant floating baby head of the dead baby. See, Brian has a good idea.
Christ almighty.
But then if it's just a baby head, how does it talk? Was it just going to appear to Scrooge and be like, go, go, gaga?
No,
Robert,
you
What
can
what if the baby was growing up and then became a kid and then a man? Like you could have had this wife and this child, and you didn't accept her. You went for more money. I'm just thinking of rewriting the story.
Yeah.
Orchestra of Scorched Cats. There's one for the fucking analogies. I think I'd put that right up there with that one from Rotor with the skeletons in the tin coffin doing it.
Or you could have a relationship with a prostitute and reject the girl he's been going out with for a really long time. I'm just brainstorming. I'm thinking different scenarios.
You hear that, Charles Dickens? Brian demands more whores in this movie.
I'm down with that.
Of course you'd be down with it. And then it turns out he gets super fucking jaded and he turns into Jack the Ripper. It's like,
Yes.
he was scorned.
Jen, you would probably know the best out of us. Is there a porn parody of this film?
Oh, yes. There's quite a few actually. There's some that have heart and there's some that are sleazy.
Baby, I love you to bits, but you really shouldn't be so eager to admit your knowledge of pornographic features.
Everybody knows, Marty. Everybody knows at this point.
Oh, maybe there'd be a horror Christmas Carol where he's well, I guess Marty was saying Jack the Ripper, like he's a killer.
You'd have to
So
make it a
Scrooge-
woman then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and then the ghosts have to reform him. Oh shit, they were running backwards. That was impressive.
I assume all this is sets, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So callous about his friend and business partner dying.
Oh, he could get his share, his other guy's share of the business, and make more money than he was making because the other guy had died. So he takes his part and makes more
But they're
money.
friends, Brian. They're friends.
Oh.
You don't want your friends to die.
Well, depending on the friend.
Scrooge is the ultimate capitalist.
That's true.
He is ultimate capitalist. He's proof capitalism does not work. Da.
You should be nice to the woman. She just ran backwards.
Marty, you're already on the watch list. Don't speak Russian. That's not helping your case any.
Okay.
I want to make a Star Trek remake of this and have like Mr. Scrooge be Quark.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun. It'd be
Who
a
would
lot of fun.
Spock be?
Huh?
Would you have the original cast like Spock?
No, because it's because I would want Ebenezer Scrooge to be Ferengi because they're greedy in the show.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense.
Okay, yeah.
Who would you have as the ghosts? What characters would you have prior?
Well, I'd have Odo be Jacob Marley's ghost, and I don't know, like I'd have to think about it, but like you could do it. I'd do it.
Well, Q should be a ghost.
Oh, Q could be the ghost of Christmas Future.
That makes sense.
Oh, I thought of a Matrix Christmas Carol. Just thinking about different franchises.
Would be like what would be like Agent Smith would be like fucking Ebenezer Scrooge and that.
Yeah, Morpheus would be the ghost.
Oh, that was a coat rack. It looked like a dinosaur. It didn't.
Wait, what? Where?
Like it looks like a long neck from Land Before Time.
Got me excited, Trench.
Trench wants all the dinosaur coat racks.
Yes.
What kind of hat do you call that? This is a stovepipe hat, right?
Yeah.
The stovetop stuffing hat.
A Lincoln special.
It's like, not unless you can cure pneumonia, Scrooge.
The DMC, there isn't a Christmas Carol in Klingon, but there's a Night Before Christmas children's book in Klingon.
Ah!
It's drawn. I must find the pictures and send it to Edward.
Kapla!
That's cool.
Like Klingon's the big like furry dude, right?
No,
Yes.
Klingons are like Worf.
Yeah, they got the thingamajigger.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I meant. The big dude that was in the one with Patrick Stewart, and he stood behind him.
He's not furry though. He's just got a big forehead.
Oh, my bad.
No,
I think their version of Santa is Kalas. Kalas is just coming down delivering presents.
that makes sense.
If you made this movie a horror movie, or if you had a twist at the end where instead of good things happening, he gets stabbed or something.
Marley's corpse comes back to life and tries to eat him.
We can't be right all the time.
Oh yes, that'd be awesome.
The zombie Christmas Carol.
Mustn't reproach yourself.
And Tiny Tim gets eaten by a ghost.
Like the ghosts are all trying to tell Scrooge to reform ways, and he's like, "I'm a little busy. There are zombies trying to break in."
I love the episode of The Real Ghostbusters when the Real Ghostbusters accidentally travel back in time and bust the ghosts.
It's kind of a trope to do a version of A Christmas Carol with TV shows. Do that. Like Quantum Leap did a Christmas Carol episode. Married with Children did a Christmas Carol kind of episode. Like lots of shows do that.
Yeah.
I preferred It's a Wonderful Life Christmas episode with Married with Children because Sam Kinison was the angel in it. So
yeah,
I preferred that one. Yeah.
We lost a very funny man when Sam Kinison died.
Oh, we did. He was one of my all-time favorites.
He was great in Back to School when he was the teacher or the professor.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did you feel when you signed the latest of his manual?
Great.
Oh, he did take his money. And I guess his house, too.
He's like, I don't hear it.
I've said before, if I had $5 billion, I couldn't keep all that money. I'd have to give it to some of it to charity.
Oh, I would keep it. My money. My money, and I need it now.
Because at $5 billion, I don't think I could spend on everything. I mean, I take a few trips, but I mean, like, I wouldn't know what to do with all that money, you know?
Oh, you'd find something to do with it. I would. I'd be buying things left and right. I'd have a nice house.
Well, I would get some nice stuff, you know. I would travel, but I wouldn't need all that money.
A super fancy sex dungeon.
Look at this guy's robe. Like, is he a ghost of Christmas present, or is he like fucking a pimp?
That's what I always think of him as Big Pimp Daddy.
He even has a pimp cup.
Daddy.
Like, he even has the pimp cup.
Oh, this guy is
It's velour.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
This guy isn't see-through.
Touch my robe. Is that the ghost version of Pull My Finger?
We said it's a Christmas to working only one day of our year. We live the whole 365. So is it true the child was born in Bethlehem? He does not live in men's hearts only one day of the year. We know all the days of the year. You have chosen not to seek him in your hearts. Therefore you shall come with me and seek him in the hearts of men of goodwill. Come, touch my robe.
Oh yeah, now he's see-through.
Do you find you've been gypped on the whole ghost thing if they're not see-through, Trenchy?
Well, I feel like why is the first one see-through and Marley see-through and this one isn't? It's like you're ruining the continuity.
Maybe he's like Kitty Pryde. He can just turn intangible at will.
That could be a good point. Maybe he got like special privileges as a ghost.
French, how would you Tiny Tim talk?
Wait, what?
Oh, he's taking it off.
Oh my god!
No.
Tiny Tim is too big to be carried in that fucking dude's shoulders. Dear fucking
It really
Jesus.
bothers you, doesn't it?
And Marty,
I wonder. Oh,
until I mentioned that, did you ever notice that he was too tall for this role?
Yeah, it's like I was like, okay, he's a bit too tall, but maybe pull it off. I was thinking, okay, maybe they won't do the whole thing, having him up on his dad's shoulders. But no, they fucking did. And he's too. That's not a fucking man and his child. That's a fucking total fool walking down the fucking street. Fuck
In
that
fair-
shit.
In fairness, Marty, it'd sort of be like if you put Christian on your shoulders.
Yes, exactly. Fucking exactly.
You have to do it now, Marty. You gotta give Christian a ride on your shoulders.
Yeah.
I'll get him a balloon. I'll get him a balloon.
Bless your heart. It never would have been Christmas if they kept you late.
Is the pudding still sitting in the cupboard?
I wonder how old Charles Dickens was when he wrote this. Was he old or was he? I can't.
Yeah, he is too old.
What, he was old when he wrote this?
Oh no, I meant Tiny Tim. I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake swallowed off.
Yeah, Jake's a little on the small side though. So
As good as gold, and somehow it's thoughtful sitting by himself.
Oh, speaking of Christian, where is he tonight? Anyway, he editing.
he has to help his grandmother. He's helping her out with a few things. He wanted to be here tonight, but he's helping his grand with a couple things tonight at her house. So he's just he wanted to be here.
That's okay. I like it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe he'll show up next time because we're doing Santa Claus Conquers the Martians next
Oh,
time.
he won't miss that one. He won't miss that one for anything.
Ethel, is that next week?
Yeah, next week is Santa
Okay.
Claus Conquers the Martians. You hear that, Trench? The finest pudding in all of London.
Yay, pudding, yay.
What's blood pudding? Is
Trench that. London pudding, yay!
I wonder what the use of the snow.
Mommy, what will Santa bring me? Tiny Tim, you're 14 years of fucking age, okay? You're a bit too old to be believing in Santa. But Mommy, shut up. Yay. God, fucking even in the 1800s, teenagers were popping their collar. Daddy, I watch soccer. I'm going to pop my collar like Ronaldo. Ha 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 ha. Yay.
Soon they'll be donning leather jackets and wielding a driller guitar. that would be an amazing Christmas Carol movie.
Yeah, Tiny Tim should have that.
I have waited for this great moment to advise him that I have my eye on a situation for him which will bring in, if obtained, full 5 and 6.
And darling, what would you like for Christmas? I'd like to get you a vasectomy husband of mine.
Then a toast, my love, my dearie, for a Merry Christmas. God bless.
God bless.
Please stay, no more children. My womb is
Have
hollow
you,
and
Mr.
rusted.
Scrooge, the founder of the feast?
You know, as much of a bastard as he is, everybody is toasting Scrooge in this movie.
Only be on Christmas Day that I would bring the hell with such a hard, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear.
Wait,
I think he done a
the
better
background,
speech.
was that painting in the background, was that a dog with elk horns?
No presents. Long life.
Wait, a dog with a snow cone?
No, elk horns.
Oh, ox horns?
Elk. E-L-K. Elk horns.
Oh, I give up. I can't hear you.
No, you're good. You're good. I know you're sitting close to the TV, so you can't hear too well. I just wanted to show you see it.
Marty, I want to tell you you're incorrigible. I want to use that in a sentence with you in a conversation.
So always. Look at the way he's taking it in for such dishonest without a shilling. He won't even come to dinner with us. Consequence, he's only cheated himself out of a highly indigestible dinner.
Yes, it was a wonderful dinner.
But I personally have very much faith in you do it, housekeeper. Have you company?
Yes, as a bachelor, I'm a wretched outcast with no right to express an opinion on such a tender and delicate subject. Ever, dear, distant, unmovable Miss Flora.
No, I'm really quite incorrigible, Mr. Tupper.
He's like, see? Scrooge, you're a bastard. Alice is a saint.
I have become a sounding brass or a tickling cymbal. Though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, though I have all things so that I could remove mountains and not tear them, why?
You feel more like such a hand, and your neck bless your dear, gentle hand. You know me, Dad, I never thought there was anyone like you left.
This is the Ghost of Christmas Present, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
See, look, he still has his pimp cup with him. It's on his belt, like a revolver.
I don't
And he keeps-
understand. Oh, I'm sorry.
He keeps small children underneath his robe. I think that's fairly inappropriate.
I don't understand the way Christmas Past looks and the way Christmas Present looks. Like how where they came up with the idea to make them look. What was the process of them thinking? Why should the Christmas Present guy have a beard and leaves around his head and sort of looks like Santa Claus? But
Essentially, I think it's kind of like the first ghost is white and diaphanous and pure, as it's the past, it's new, it's a clearer kind of view when you were younger. Didn't seem better, didn't seem brighter in the future. Present is you're only thinking about the day, and you're kind of you're accepting that the way things are, and it's full of life, it's full of bombastic. But maybe underneath the robes there's all this fucking kind of stuff you need to pay attention to, and then the future is kind of death. And it's like it's what ahead is, it's what might be ahead of you. You don't make the right choices. I don't know.
yeah.
That was a very good analysis, Marty. Oh, is this future?
Yeah.
Yep.
If Scrooge would just get him into a game of chess or checkers or Twister, he could keep death at bay all through this movie.
Yeah.
And you're going to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen.
I like how they're just showing his hand.
More than any other spectre I've seen.
So just for the rest of them, be patient.
I cannot change.
I'd have him shake his hand and his head. Christmas present with a future rather would turn into a skeleton hand.
That's it.
Okay, I'm fine with Future not being see-through because he's like the Grim Reaper, so that's fine. The present should have been see-through.
Oh, Tiny Tim's came and share. He's dead. It's unnecessary that we had to see his stool.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the terror that flieth by day. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
Marty, does this? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go on.
Oh, the language. I know you're Irish, but can you? Does it sound 1800-ish to you, or does it sound different?
I don't know to be Irish. I don't care to be doing what 1800 fucking English.
I don't know.
Fado, Jesus Christ, I don't know how. I suppose it goes for a more Dickensian thing, but like, you know, I genuinely don't know. I suppose if it's the same as the language in the book or the phraseology in the book, it might be accurate.
Like Shakespeare, like British people. Maybe you can pick up on Shakespeare easier than Americans can.
I don't know if you know this, but we've had a bit of a tumultuous relationship with the British.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, we wouldn't be too keen on indulging in their culture or integrating it into ours. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brian.
Sorry to ask you the question, Marty.
Marty,
All
what
right.
was your beef with Greece?
Huh?
I thought you said you had a bad relationship with Greece.
No,
Because that's where Shakespeare comes from, right?
no,
No,
Trench, Shakespeare comes from England.
Oh, wait, I'm confusing my eras. My bad.
British people.
Because when I think of plays, I think of Greece and Rome. I got confused. My bad.
You're
It
all right.
happens.
That's okay. Go.
Ugh. I think he's hitting on her.
Joe. Look, now that the laundry scope for now, dear, you was here first. After you, I'm sure. I'm not old Jerry's a child. If a child lady in the laundry and the oven take
I could be saying British people so many times during that scene. Honestly.
You will make free of the tongue with you, right? Not at all, strangers. Just like.
Yeah, John is right. They were all the Shakespeare, Dickens were all in story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Homer was, so there you go. There's your connection.
You've been all well met. Coming to the father.
Who goes first? What targets never all meet at once? If the one's got a right to take care of themselves, they all Oh, that's true enough. No one more so.
I wonder if the movie My Fair Lady is close to this time period.
That's a musical, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a musical.
Oh, I have to check that out.
It's okay.
But very different histories from the British, if you think about it. Like this is the 1800s. This is what the British were doing. And meanwhile, in America, you got people riding horseback and shooting revolvers. It's different.
Did we throw their tea in the ocean yet?
Say what?
Did we throw their tea in the ocean yet in the 1800s?
That was the revolution. That was the 1700s. Trench.
Oh.
That was the American Revolution. That was the 1700s. This would be
Right
the
now in
1800s.
America, it would be the Old West.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
You guys had the Old West. They had the Industrial Revolution. We had starving to death because of those fuckers. So, yay!
Marty, some of my ancestors came from Ireland. I think they came here because of the potato famine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Marty has told me the British made worse. They made the famine worse.
Yeah, they exported all our food and kicked people out of their houses. And, yeah.
That was mean. They should have gave you more potatoes.
I think my ancestors left Ireland in the late 1800s, early 1900s. My father's side of the
Marty, I
family.
was just thinking what this scene would be, for the future would be kind of cool is if someone necrophiled Scrooge. That would kind of, because he was such a bastard. I think that's what this movie needs.
It was the last bit of warmth he had in him.
Exactly. You get me. You follow my train of thought, right?
Yeah, we can combine it with the dead baby version.
Yeah.
I
mean, it makes sense, right?
Well, they buried him in the coast. I took it off of him again. As if calico ain't good enough to bury him. Anyway, just as we come into the body, it comes out about me. I wanted to give it a spot. It's poetic justice. He frightened everybody away from me when he was alive, and now he benefits us when he's dead.
Well, it's taken Scrooge a long time to put the pieces of this puzzle together.
Yeah, for such a smart guy.
Like, you're fucking dead. Get it?
But then I guess the psychology of it is no one wants to face their mortality, so I guess in a way it can play in that way too. So it kind of makes sense.
Didn't leave it to me. That's all I know. Well, the funeral won't cost much, that's it. On my own, I can't think of anyone who can.
I wouldn't mind. I'd love to be like, who came to my funeral? Those fucking bastards. Only 6 of them turned up.
The fucking Ghost of Christmas Future takes me to the stone. It's like, oh, it's my name on there, and I'm just like, finally. So long now. That's not the message.
If I was still alive, Marty, I would be throwing myself on your coffin, right? You knew that, right?
Would you be buried with me, alive?
Sure.
Proof that Scrooge is a cheap bastard. All he allotted for himself was a footstone.
So he's a penny pincher, Scrooge. He doesn't use,
Yeah.
He doesn't spend any of his money.
Although it's not a really cheap footstone because it's fairly large.
If it was a science fiction movie, he could freeze himself.
What, like
Oh,
Walt Disney?
If he's frozen in a science fiction movie, instead of taking him to the graveyard, he takes him to a cryo lab, and it's just his head floating in a vat.
That'd be awesome.
Then there's the classic scene of him grabbing the cloak, the ghost of Christmas Future, and it turns into his curtains on his bed. Please, I'll suck your dick. Please. Wait for it. If he grabs the cloak, he's like he's going in for it. Please. I'll polish the shaft. I'll work the balls. Please. Please. I don't care if you wash them or not.
Would the Grim Reaper have a dick?
Boy, it's Christmas Day.
You there, boy. What day is it? February, you lazy prick. Christ, that was some beggar. Oh.
He should pick up that comforter off the floor. That's a tripping hazard.
Good morning, sir.
What day is it?
Right. What's Christmas Day close?
Christmas. Then I have you missed. Spirits must have done anything in my night. Of course, they can do anything, can't they? Of course they can.
You caught yourself, sir.
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
What?
The curtains are still here. They're still here. You didn't tear them down and so. Everything's here. I'm here. And the shadows of things that would be can still be described. And they will be. I know they will be. I didn't love you. I was like, no.
And on that day, Ebenezer Scrooge was committed to a mental asylum where he died alone and cold.
She's just screaming because he wasn't wearing any pants and she saw it fly.
See, that's what I always thought.
Grab my dick! Grab my dick! Sorry.
Look, Miss Gilbert, there's the corner where the splitting Christmas presents set. There's the door where Jake Marley goes to.
DMC, I'll make a call to that nut house, sir.
I don't know what day I'm after that. I don't know how long we've been amongst the spirit. I don't know anything. Now I know that I don't know anything.
I don't know what he was doing
Why did she
in
just
there.
Why did she throw her apron over her face? Okay, this is her mother something.
Her eyes wouldn't have to see it. Maybe she did see his cock.
Her freak out is on par with that freak out in Bride of Frankenstein when she sees the monster.
Yeah, Una, what's her name?
Yeah.
And we found Mr. Scrooge. Straight for the beagle. Jimmy? Yeah,
It's kind of nice at the end of the movie like this. seem in a good mood since he's been a difficult prick throughout the whole film.
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable at all during the whole movie to now.
Or buy yourself some sexy lingerie and come back later. Something lacy. Yeah.
2 shillings a week.
Supposed to raise the king.
10 shillings a week here. You're sure you don't want to see a doctor?
The doctor said enough. No, the other thing. Go off and do it to yourself.
Oh, shut up!
I don't know what half a crown is, but I assume it's a great deal more than a shilling. We should have had Sasha in here. We could have had him translate the value of the British currency.
Pound and sixpence. I think it's pound and pence.
He said crown. He said half a crown.
Isn't a crown like $150 or I don't know.
Brian, do not go asking me. Do not give an attempt to go asking me.
Marty, how much is this shilling? Teasing. I'm teasing.
Marty, what is Irish money called?
Euro.
Oh, the euro. You're part of the euro.
They didn't used to use the euro, though. They used something else.
The punt.
The bunt.
Punt. P-U-N-T.
Oh, punt.
Like a football punt. Okay.
I think that's a bunt, isn't it? B-U-N-T?
No,
I
no.
can't say that.
Oh, maybe
It's
I'm
I can't say
wrong.
that.
Oh, yours
Look
is
at
a
John's-
one. Oh, I
John
thought
Steele,
you said punt.
John Steele saying, Marty, how to convert crowns to potatoes.
I tell you what, John, I'll tell you when you grow a full head of hair.
Uncle Buzzkill, welcome.
Oh, you guys can't hear the noises in the background, right?
No, you're golden, man.
Okay. That's good. I didn't know if you could hear it. There's stuff going on upstairs.
DMC Campbell said, put in.
Yeah.
Uncle Ebenezer! Fred, is it too late to accept your invitation to dinner? Too late? I'm delighted. Delighted! My dear, look who it is.
Oh, for a second, it looked like he had a gallows in there. It's just the door. Or a fucking guillotine.
Can you forgive the pig-headed
Yeah.
for having no eyes to see, no ears to hear with? Oh,
Yeah. You made Fred so
Merry Christmas!
Sure makes me think of Wild Strawberries by Ingmar Bergman. Not exactly the same movies, but sort of the same kind of idea.
Wait, what movie?
Wild Strawberries by Ingmar Bergman.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Is this? I wonder is it going to be fake angry at Bob Cratchit for coming in late?
Yes.
It's weird. Like Scrooge and Willy Wonka have the same tailor. Especially if you're watching this in color because he's wearing a purple suit.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got a purple suit like Willy Wonka purple, and he's got an orange vest on with the black bow tie.
Oh, that's badass.
That's a pimp.
So it looks like he's almost dressed exactly like Willy Wonka, which is weird. In black and white, you never notice.
Maybe they're related.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Making rather many, isn't this? I'm sure you will. Well, we won't beat about the bush, my friend. I'm not going to stand this sort of thing any longer. Which leaves me no alternative but to raise your salary.
The homeless guy with the dog is the same size as Tiny Tim.
Yeah, it's Tiny Tim. It's the fakest ass Tiny Tim I've ever seen.
But you know, really think about this. This is just scare tactics. He didn't turn into a good person because he's a good person. It's just fucking scare tactics. You're gonna die and go.
It's
That's
woke
not really
culture.
that uplifting of a
He's not
story.
changing because he feels stuff. He's changing because he was pressure cut.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Scared Straight, where they bring the little kids to prison to keep them from
And make them
committing
peel
crime.
orange with their teeth and threaten to put them in with rapists. Yeah, that's not a good way for society to progress.
Yeah, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, that was. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's just not as hard when you think about it for a minute. You're like, wait a minute, he really was just a prick who just got scared. It wasn't because he had a change.
Yeah, he's been scared straight.
That never works.
Brian's almost done with the movie.
Huh? What Ethel?
No, you're good. I just said you're almost done with the
How
movie.
old are you, kid?
Oh,
He
yeah.
can't lift Tiny Tim. He can't lift Tiny Tim because he's too fucking heavy.
Tiny Tim should have been played by a dwarf with no legs. Then he
Why
would
is
have been.
Tiny Tim? How can Tiny Tim? Why did he not need a crutch anymore?
Because he got nourishment, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
He ate
yeah,
that turkey, that Christmas goose.
yeah.
Scrooge is Jesus, he cured them.
But that was 1951 Scrooge, 70 years old yesterday night. Like I know most of you have seen it, some of you haven't. What'd you all think?
It was good.
Good. Very good. Enjoyable.
I enjoyed it. I just the Tiny Tim suffering from giantism took me out of it.
Marty, you have to now
Our dad
put
was
Christian
solid.
on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas! Christmas like, God bless us all, in his sarky fucking voice. God bless us all.
John Steele says Tiny Tim needs to slow down on the Christmas candy. Yeah, he was a little jazzed in that last scene. Oh, hey, Ben Grimm. Bah humbug, he says.
Hey, Ben.
But I'm gonna do. Oh shit! Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say the Muppets Christmas Carol and the one that was on Channel 4 or ITV a couple years ago with Guy Pearce are probably my favorites. But this is still a solid adaptation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a classic.
Timeless. I like to say it's pretty good. They did one with Patrick Stewart as well. This one that they did, which is pretty decent. It's a little bit too polished. You guys, you know how I go. I like these older movies. They're a little bit rough around the edges sometimes, but it's charm. That's a lot of charm. But I'm gonna do as I usually do, and I'm gonna go around the room and I'm gonna ask my 3 questions, and I will start with the man to the right of me. I'll start with my friend Marty. Favorite character, favorite scene, notable thing.
Despite his over theatrical on-dead appearance, I like Marley. I like the fact he went apeshit with the boxes. It was creepy. It was generally disconcerting. Out of 3 ghosts, he was the most disconcerting. Also melodramatic, but disconcerting. Standout chain? Or what was the next one, Ethel? Favorite scene?
Favorite scene.
Favorite scene probably would be where Scrooge is basically going to different places and finding out people can't stand him. It's like, yeah, I'd love, like, if there was someone out there that, like, say, if they were acting the arsehole, it would be a wake up call to realize how much of a pain in the hole you are, and like, you know, just hearing people fucking talk shit about you, and it would fucking be a shot in the arm and take you down a peg or two. And I think that was interesting. And most notable thing, Tiny Tim was far from fucking tiny. He should have been called Giant Tim, Giant Teenage Tim.
All right. Jen, favorite character, favorite scene, notable thing?
I liked Scrooge's nephew a lot. I thought he actually I bought it. I didn't think, in some adaptations, I always think, you're a little too good to be true. But he actually sold it, and you kind of get that he has a good heart underneath. Scrooge wasn't bad either. Favorite scene would definitely be where we're at Christmas present, and he lifts his robe up, and the 2 children are underneath. When I was a kid, the first time I saw that scene, I was like, whoa, that was kind of profound as a kid to see that and to kind of get that whole message. And I think it's done really well, even though we've seen other adaptations of it. I think it's a really cool scene. And what was the other one, Ethel? I'm sorry.
Notable thing?
I have to go with Marty. Now I just picture Christian just riding on Marty's shoulders. Fuck you, and to all, fuck you, and fuck you, good night. Something like that. That's what Sparky would say.
I'd just be walking him under fucking low doors. Just like, oh, you prick.
Bastard.
Yeah. Very good. Oh, so what?
I was just gonna say, Tiny Tim was a little big for his age. There wasn't much tiny about that.
No.
Maybe it's like supposed to be ironic, like in Robin Hood where they've got Little John, but he's a big fucking bastard.
Well, actually, in one of the adaptations, in the porn adaptations, that's the joke. Tiny Tim is not so tiny.
Wait, but Tiny Tim's supposed to be a child. Why would he be in the porn?
Well, they kind of change things up in a porno. He wasn't a child in the porno.
Oh,
yeah, they'd be going to jail if he was.
Yeah, that'd be a completely different movie, and I don't support that. That's
Hey,
wrong.
Jen, what was his actual alternate porn name? Was it Slimy Tim or
I
something
don't-
like that?
I don't remember, but but the joke was he was anything but tiny.
I suppose if he hadn't been a legal adult in that version, it would have been directed by the guy who did Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, Victor Salva. Yeah.
Oh no.
For all I know, it might have been. I need to go look up a few things. I'll get back to everybody.
All right, guys. Moving along. Trench, first time viewing. Favorite character, favorite scene, notable thing.
Favorite character is Scrooge. I like how in the beginning of the movie he just seemed uncomfortable all the time. So you could tell he wasn't even like happy with his lifestyle. He was just a prick, so he lived it like that. And then I liked his arc. And he was a pretty good Scrooge. And I like his crazy thing at the end. It reminded me of Bill Murray and his Scrooge version where he starts acting crazy when he turns good. So they probably took that from this. And that's cool. Favorite scene is when Marley screams like a maniac, because that was awesome. And more of the ghosts should have done that. And notable thing is I like the shadowing in the movie. It really added to the atmosphere. And I liked how, like, when Scrooge was with the ghost of Christmas, the first one, you could see when they first go back in time, you can see a shadow on the wall, but the ghost didn't have a shadow. And I just like the shadowing in the old black and white movies that you don't really get with the colored movies.
I get that. And like I was watching the color version, and it didn't look as moody, which is something you lose with the colorization. John has a question for you.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I was to say, John has a question for you. Trench, do you want to pet Scrooge's hat?
Yes.
All right. So moving on, Brian, favorite character, favorite scene, notable thing?
Favorite character, I guess I go with the Ghost of Christmas Present. He's just that, I don't know, I like his costume and the leaves around his, I think they were leaves around his
Holly.
head.
It was a sprig.
Oh, it's holly?
Sprigs of holly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool costume. And then the next thing is best favorite scene.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, the scene where I think he's looking at Death at his gravestone, and Death hits the gravestone, and then all of a sudden he appears out of the mantle of Death, and he's like transferring from one. I think that's what happens. Is it right? Does that make sense? Because he lands. I think he transfers from one.
Oh, hey, it's kind of implied he might have dreamed it, and he wakes up holding the bed curtain when he was clutching Death's cloak. Is that what you mean, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. He was at his his gravestone, and then I think he pulls his hood back, and that's a scene I like. And the most noticeable thing is basically two things: the cinematography and the like in the rooms, the shafts of light, and also the snow and that's the other thing: the snow in the outside, just the snowy roads and the buildings outside. I liked how that was shown. So yeah.
Oh, excellent. Very good. And I guess that brings me to and my three questions for myself. Favorite character? As Brian said, and I tend to agree, I liked the Ghost of Christmas Present. He was a very jovial character. It sort of lightens the mood of the film after the last two scenes where you've got people in his past dying, and like you've got Jacob Marley haunting him, and like it's a nice little break to see some spirited happiness in the middle of the movie before you get to the end. And that brings me to my favorite scene. Favorite scene is at the end of the movie when he wakes up and he starts dancing around, and like he accidentally moons the maid apparently. It's funny. That it's because after seeing him be a miserable prick the whole movie, it's nice to see him like happy and like interacting with people in a somewhat normal manner, I guess. Well, not that was normal, but you know what I mean. He was excited. He was happy. Happy to be alive, not dead. That's good. And notable thing, don't keep small children under your robe. And if you do, for God's sakes, get them some shoes and pants. They're sitting in the snow. Dear God.
And if you do, you might find yourself in a prison cell next to Victor fucking Salva. So, yeah.
It's always something to
He
keep
did
in
make
mind.
a hell of a good porno, Marty.
Dear God.
Proves that not everyone's bad all the time.
But it's truly a timeless classic, and I don't know. We've seen all sorts of different adaptations of this film. Would you guys consider this? Where would you rate this among these other adaptations you've seen personally?
I again, this wouldn't be my favorite, but it wouldn't be the worst. Like I've seen Hallmark versions and other versions that are kind of good. I've seen the one with Patrick Stewart, and Stewart tries his best, and Richard E. Grant is in it as well. It's all right, but it's not the best. This is better than that, and I think this is slightly better than the George C. Scott one. But again, maybe it's just the child in me, the inner child. But Muppets Christmas Carol for me, and the one that they done on ITV a few years back with Guy Pearce, and the Kevin S. Knight, the guy behind Peaky Blinders. Definitely check that one out, because that has Andy Serkis as one of the ghosts, and he's brilliant, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, excellent.
This one's classic. It's not classic for me, but I think it's one that people think of a lot. I think it has a reason to be. There are some wonderful things about this film. For me personally, there are other adaptations I would go for, but I would kind of put it for me in the middle, but in the high middle. It's not one of my all-time favorites, but I didn't mind revisiting, and there's some good things about it, and there are some things that set the bar. When you think of A Christmas Carol, this is one that will inevitably come in the conversation. For me, I kind of prefer when we do a little bit more comedic tone. I like Bill Murray's Scrooge, probably is one of my favorites. And then the little kid in me also loves A Mickey's Christmas Carol. That was one of my favorites growing up as a kid. And there was another one that either came out in the late 70s or early 80s, and that's beautiful animation. I can't remember. It was for TV special, and it has gorgeous animation, and I can't think of what it was, but there's one to look for that just has gorgeous animation. Doesn't have much dialogue in it. It's weird, but it's beautiful animation. So,
excellent. Trench, where would you put this one amongst the other versions of this story you've seen?
I haven't seen too many versions of the Christmas Carol, like movies. I've seen TV episodes and stuff, but for movies, I haven't seen a lot. But I'd say it probably make the top 5. Like, it's better than the Jim Carrey one, in my opinion. But still, ones like the Muppet one and the Bill Murray one beat it out. But for me personally, but it wasn't bad. It was really good, and I liked the effects in it, and I liked the story, and that the actor for Scrooge was really good.
Yeah, Alastair Sim did a wonderful job here, and he's often considered to be the iconic Scrooge,
Yeah.
definitive. Brian, where would you place this amongst the other versions of the story you may have seen?
Maybe. See, I think I've only seen a small portion. Well, I think I've seen the Mickey Mouse one. I think when I was a child. I don't think I've seen many versions of this. This might be. Well, I like the simplified nature of it. You know, it looks like the sets are very stripped down, not very, not too ornamental. I'm trying to. It's kind of simplified. I guess maybe it's sort of the Citizen Kane of. Would it be this? I don't know. I think it's one of the better Christmas carols. I think it's very well done. It's like seeing Shakespeare done in the time of Shakespeare rather than seeing. Well, I don't know. What I'm thinking.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I do too.
They do Shakespeare set in the modern day, but like this is like Dickens at his time period. So it's the purest type of Christmas Carol movie, I guess you could say. Because even though I haven't seen like Bill Murray's Scrooge, which I assume is later in time. Yeah. So, So I would rate this pretty high because I think it's more probably really not that I'm always a fan of being faithful to the book. I think a movie has to be a movie and run by those rules. But I'd rate it pretty high.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And all right, so it's pretty good movie. I like to watch it every year. I have this one on DVD as well. Burned, of course, because I one of those things where accidentally, it's the internet. These things happen. The file finds its way onto my computer, and somehow it gets burned onto a disk. I don't know how this happened. Maybe it's a virus. I don't know.
It's Ghost, Ethel. It's Ghost.
It was Marley's Ghost, and albeit I don't know. Maybe he might end up putting this colorized version I watched on the DVD as well, because that has its own merits. As I mentioned, there's an intro to it and an outro, which is nice. Nice to have a little extra content, special features.
Fancy.
But sure enough to be a movie that everybody goes back to year in, year out.
Yeah.
Definitely put it up there. Winding down, guys. Winding down. I'm going to give everybody a chance to plug their stuff because that is the awesome thing to do. And Marty, what you got coming down the line, buddy?
First and foremost, I've decided to extend the submission time of VHS Memories. So you have until Sunday night to send me your submissions. Once Monday hits, that's it. I'm done. I ain't taking any more submissions because this is gonna. It's like Ron Jeremy says. This is gonna be a lawn fucker. So I wanna get it done. I want to get it done and out by December 17th, Friday, December 17th. And I don't want to be working on it over Christmas. Another thing I am doing is I am doing the first episode of the Shared Sunday between myself and Ethel. We're going to be talking about killer toys or demonic toys on the lead up to Christmas, obviously. And lastly, myself and this gorgeous lady here are going to be doing a trash fire on her channel. She still hasn't told me what movie, so I'm actually really fucking worried about that. But I kind of expected it considering what I showed her last week. So yeah, that's it. Again, guys, 2 more days to submit stuff. If you want to submit it, feel free. I've gotten some excellent submissions from Ethel, Jen, Brian, John, rakes of people submitted stuff, Nightwatch, Monty G, DMC, Video Daisies, they all sent me in stuff, but there's still space for more guys I'm really happy with the turnout. This is going to be a monster project, but if I do it right, I think it should be pretty cool.
Don't sleep on it, guys. Don't sleep on it.
Remember, I'm the only one that can submit to Marty, guys, in that way. Bastards. I'll cut
Don't
you
cut
off.
anyone. Don't cut people. Stop cutting people, Jen.
Sasha.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just being silly. Go ahead.
No, it's good. Sasha says he's going to try to do his, Marty. Life's getting in the way, but he's gonna try to get it out to you.
You have until Monday.
Jen, what's new? What's cooking? What's getting reviewed from the grave soon?
Well, we still have Christian still editing Last Night in Soho. That might be up tomorrow, hopefully, if all goes well. We've been having plumbing issues, so that's why we have a couple videos for you guys. It's just they needed to be edited. So you guys will be expecting a Dollar Tree haul where we found some pretty good movies, and also Last Night in Soho we have a review up. And like I said, and like Marty said, there will be a Trash Fire Cinema tomorrow. And all I'm going to say, guys, is it's a Christmas movie.
Ooh. Yes,
So
Christmas.
Yeah.
Garbage day?
Not Garbage Day, Marty. You can
Oh
pick
God,
Garbage Day.
it's gonna be Jack Frost, isn't it? Oh dear God, doesn't matter which one. You got the scary one with Michael Keaton, or you got the one with the snowman having sex. Carrot rape. I find the Michael Keaton one more terrifying than the carrot rape. I'll take the carrot rape any day over Michael Keaton as a snowman. It's just me.
I'm with you.
Besides, it's a carrot. How bad can it feel? Trench. Save me from myself. What do you got coming on the old small screen? What's blinking on our computer monitors?
Nothing on my channel, but I guess I'll repeat this. On Tuesday on Junebug's channel, we are going to be watching all the animated Lord of the Rings movies and all the music. And then on the 14th, apparently on Junebug's channel again, I don't know how he's going to have the time to do it, but we're going to be doing all the extended versions of The Hobbits and The Lord of the Rings, and we're going to die. That's it.
No.
And then there'll be no more content again.
We'll be singing the ballad of Frenchy Baggins.
So people, if they have, I have those extended editions, but like you queue up your player and you're just watching it along with you.
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, we're going to be watching all of them, so I don't expect you to be there the whole time. But yeah, if you want, you can watch along.
I don't know. Probably too long.
Trenchy, you need to open up a Twitch channel so you can play Shadow of Mordor. You can play the original Hobbit game for the PS2.
No.
You can play Shadow of Mordor, Battle for Middle Earth. If you play all the, you might as well immerse yourself.
No. I'm doing this for Junebug because he's a good friend of mine. I'll go help him out. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. I don't want to play the video games.
Okay.
All right. And that brings us to Brian. Brian, what's going on? What's good? What's shaking over at Kubrick Lover? We got music coming for us.
It's I think it'll be a little bit of a while, but I did get a little bit more done. Sasha's doing some narration and poetry. It's my narration and poetry, and I told him how to speak it. I sent him a file last night, and then I haven't heard his file that he sent back, but he's going to be featured on the album. He's one person. And then I asked my cousin's daughter if she could sing some songs on it. I already recorded the tracks for her, like how she's supposed to sing it. So she's just busy right now So it might be a little while. It might be maybe a month or maybe a few months. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I have worked on other parts of the album that are instrumental, and then there are 2 songs. I think I'm trying to work out, make them where to put the riffs in the certain places and probably singing in it, and so I'm still working on it. So I think maybe it's going to be at least, I think, to the end of the year. Maybe it's going to be in January or something. I don't think not within the next few weeks. Let's put it that way.
All right.
So,
but eventually it will happen.
Yeah, it's a concept album. It's called Hiroshima the Mind. It was inspired by a poem I wrote called Hiroshima with Love. So it's this album about the atomic bomb, and it's in 5 parts: spring, youth, summer war, autumn aftermath, winter death, and then peace, spring peace. So yeah.
Yeah, so everybody be on the lookout for that. We don't know, but it'll happen.
And it'll be like 2.5, 3 hours long, I think. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I guess that brings me around back to me. What I got going on is tomorrow night over on Full Moon's channel. We will be doing game night. I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be playing the games, hanging out, doing the Jackbox TV thing that we do. So you can check that out. I will be on Sunday with Marty and Jen and Trenchy and the usual crowd. We'll be talking about the killer toys, as Marty has mentioned. Should be pretty good. And join me next Friday, guys, because next Friday we will be watching Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Yes. Droppo will right. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching and thank everybody in the chat. We had John Steele, we had Sasha, we had DMC Campbell, we had Full Moon, we had Ben Grimm, we had, of course, Kubrick, who is here on the panel, but he was also in the chat. We also had, who else do we all have in there? I think we got everybody. I don't know. I might be forgetting people. If I forget you.
TTYD.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Let's not forget. I don't want to forget them. They're fairly new to watching my shit, so appreciate the support. Always good to have them. Anybody in the chat that I may have forgotten, don't feel bad. I still love you. I'm just absent-minded sometimes. I don't mean to overlook people. I fucking thank you. And anybody who was not in the chat but was watching along at home, either during this or in the future, watching it on the replay, thank you. I really appreciate your views. Like you make my shit work. Thank you for being here, and much love. And I want to thank these people for joining me tonight. I was joined tonight by Marty of the Trash Picture Show, Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, Trinity, the Soulless Trenchcoat, and Brian, of course, Kubrick lover. So check out these guys' channels, subscribe to them, hang out with them, and if you like my channel, you like the things I do, you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know. If you hate it, if you think I suck, if you wonder why what I'm doing with my life, I wonder that too sometimes. Give me a thumbs down. Leave a comment. Let me know. I can take the heat. I won't get out of the kitchen, but I can sure take the heat. And and again, if you like this movie this video, you like this video, you like the things I do, and you want to be notified about it, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, give my bell a little ringy dingy, and maybe even vote for these movies. I put voting up every so often on Twitter. It's not happening this month because it's watch along all December long, and I've already pre-picked the movies. But normally you vote on them, so you can get to me there, talk to me, say hi at _Ethel_Cross_, and I'll talk to you. But thank you for watching. I'll see y'all later. Adios.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Dove Sonia.